Well, the start of the school year is not far away, and teachers are always looking for new ways to reach students as they design their courses. More and more educators are turning to AI programs that help create lesson plans. Our AI expert at Grove City College, computer science professor Brian Dellinger, joins us to talk all about this. So, Professor, thank you so much for being on.
Always a pleasure to be here.
So first, we want to show our viewers just how this works. Brian actually gave our producer a list of AI programs that are out there for teachers, and here's one of them, free online. It's called Claude AI, and you can see here our producer told the program to create a lesson for 10th graders about video production and how to use broadcast microphones. After just the click of a button, it codes the lesson and then produces all kinds of interactive activities, shows the various types of microphones, information, quizzes, and much more in just a matter of minutes. So Brian, this is pretty wild. How much time can this save teachers, and what do you think about all this?
Yeah, it's a brave new world, like they say. There's a lot of potential here. I don't think any teacher should feel like they need to incorporate AI into their lesson planning. But as you say, there's a lot of opportunity here to save some time and effort, and to just make some tasks simpler. If you're just dipping a toe into using AI for the first time, what I would really encourage you to start with is to look at tools like Claude or ChatGPT to say, just how would you recommend that I use you, right? Ask the AI, what can you do to help me with this kind of lesson planning? Can you give me suggestions as to how I could incorporate the AI? And often the suggestions that come there, which are drawing from what other people have done, that the AI has ingested, that it's absorbed, often that will give you a great starting point if you don't know how else to begin.
Another program that you gave the producer was DIFIT, and she noticed that it created a lesson that used some of the teaching methods that teachers are evaluated on. Will these programs help teachers improve their performance, and how so?
I mean, I think that's certainly the hope, is that sometimes as teachers, we're all struggling for inspiration or trying to just come up with a good set of questions or of a good summary of a topic that we could use really well. And so sometimes that's hard to find or to generate ourselves. And so having this at least as a first draft is something that you can build on to use as the foundation of your lesson plan. I certainly don't think it replaces that human touch in making sure your lesson is really tailored to your students. But as a first draft of some suggestions for how should I lay out the semester, or how can I, what are some topics I should make sure I cover in this area? I think it can be a really great kind of a sounding board, a way to bounce ideas off and get some inspiration for what you want to do.
Which programs do you recommend the most? And are there any concerns about using AI in the classroom? How do we know that everything's accurate? And what would you say to teachers out there or anyone who is apprehensive about this?
Yeah, I would say treat the AI's advice the same way you would if you asked someone else, what should I put in my lesson plan? We would never just take that uncritically and say, well, they said this was a good idea, so obviously I'll do it. Treat the AI the same way. Check what it says. See if you agree with the questions, with the techniques, with the description it gives. And don't be afraid to disagree with it. If someone was just going to get started, if they were just going to begin, I would start with something like a ChatGPT or a Claude from Anthropic, one of these tools that does lots of things, but that can provide lesson help as well. Things like Conmigo or DIFIT, or there's a browser program called Brisk that all provide ways of summarizing work and generating questions off it. I think all those are useful. Where I would encourage teachers to show some caution is in using AI to evaluate student work. I think students are going to very quickly realize if you're not actually looking at their work and assessing it, and they're going to say, well, then what am I here for if there's not a human being actually paying attention to what I'm doing?
All right. Well, Brian, thank you so much for all this advice and insight. We'll see you soon to talk about how keeping students honest when they use ChatGPT for assignments. Thank you.
My pleasure.